This is The Roadmap with Lee Heisman.
Hello everyone and welcome to The Roadmap exclusively here on ASBN.com. I'm Lee Heisman and every week we bring you some of the brightest entrepreneurs, CEOs and business owners who are climbing the ladder, scaling their businesses, and thinking about how one day to exit stage left. We have a special guest that my partner Ted and I have known for years, Kristin Andree, co-founder of the FA Partners. How are you doing, Kristin?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, Lee.
Oh, it's wonderful to see you again.
Yeah,
it's always just like old time. It's like nothing new because we see each other all the time.
I know. It's good.
But I want to share what you do for our audience. And people understand that you're an advisor, but you're an advisor to the advisors.
Yes.
Talk to us about that.
So I like to call myself a recovering advisor because I've been in the industry for so long and I loved helping advisors scale their practice. It is my favorite thing to do. I enjoyed that more than seeing my own clients. So I stepped down 15 years ago from my role at my firm and launched the coaching and consulting practice. So that's what it is. I get to advise advisors because I've found that they're great at giving advice to their clients, but they're not always great at building their businesses. And that's the part I like. So that's what I started doing.
So, advisors are really good at providing that guidance. Like you said, they're great at that, but are they great at listening? What are some of the challenges you run into with some of your clientele?
I would say it's mixed. There are some advisors that are fantastic at listening, and there are some that we need to work on that a little bit. So frequently we're working on strategy and execution, but a lot of times we're working on the soft skills too, because the more technical they are, the more they need work on the soft skills. But it takes both of them to be able to run a successful practice.
So
and to be able to listen to your clients.
And to be able to listen to the client. And everything's about lever pulling, I say. If you're really good at something, you're probably not good at something else, of course. The key is if they're aware of it.
Yes.
Talk about why you went from kind of the end client to that advisor instead of just the basic business owners to now advisors. What was that transition and why?
I think because I'd been in that space, I'd been in their seat, and I'd also been in the seat of a client. So when I was an advisor, I thought very much like an advisor. What do I need to do to grow my practice? How can I scale? How can I do better at my business? But as a client, you think of it different. It's what are you doing for the client? How are you connecting with them? How are you showing them that you appreciate them and love on them? And that's really the good thing when it comes to working with clients. And it's an opportunity that most advisors miss. So being able to marry those two together is where they really, really start to see a lot of increases in
Yeah, if you didn't have your experience, you couldn't possibly advise them how to advise others.
I could, but it would have been more prescriptive. So I see that a lot with consultants and advisors and other coaches. It's a little bit more cookie cutter, and I am very, very, very customized in the work I do with them because every advisor is different. Every target market or client group is different. So we need to teach them the strategies that'll work for them, which may be very different from what works for the advisor next door.
Every time I see you, we don't spend enough time really talking about business as much. We're mostly talking personal, building that leg of our relationship. But I'm a recovering advisor, and I love prescriptive. That term, you're right, it makes it so sanitary, so non-customizable.
Yep, it is, and I think so many people, and there is certainly going to be, roadmaps, right? Most everybody has a roadmap, but the beauty of that is how you drive on that lane, how you really embrace it and make it your own. So if it's prescriptive and you don't veer off or you don't really figure out how you fit in that, then it just gets to be bland, and the clients see that.
So again, everybody that knows you, and even from Cliffco, we're part of that, and I have to give a shout out to Cliff.
Yeah, we do.
Your ability to do this successfully is not shocking to anyone, right? When you pivoted and you've now run into this realm. But there's no way it was easy. And I want to know, off the top of your head, has there been one or two scenarios where you got stumped advising someone, where you would question your skill in terms of being able to provide input?
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. And I think it continues to happen. Honestly, most of us, as we grow and scale, there's new challenges. I tend to look at it as more an opportunity for me to learn. It shows me where I have a blind spot myself, or what do I need to go a little bit deeper with. There haven't been anything that I haven't been able to overcome because I'm really good at pulling in resources. So if it's something that's not my area of expertise, I will partner with somebody who it is. So it's frequently something where it's like, I just haven't encountered it yet.
That's interesting.
It's something that comes up and I'm like, all right, well, I just need to go deeper here and figure out where the roadblock is and how to get around it.
So this again, you're really probably going to not encounter a roadblock because you're always moving or bringing experts in. I didn't see that one coming.
Yeah.
What about in your personal life? I'm shifting a little bit.
A lot more roadblocks.
No, but I mean, in the professional life, you can bring other people in, right? And do you do the same in your personal life? Have you run into many roadblocks?
oh, are you kidding me? And they said, well, it's a whole nother show. Like, I've run into a lot. And I mean, certainly everybody does. We all have roadblocks, right? And I bring in help there too. I would say professional help. Obviously I have a coach. I think all good people that coach should have coaches.
How did you find that coach? You have a coach.
Yeah, I ask the people that I respect who they work with. And I have some people, there's one that I know exactly who I'm going to engage with from a coaching perspective last year because he just started opening up to take new clients, and I just respect him as a business person in the industry. And I'm like, okay, that's who I want to work with. So I see somebody that has built what I want to build, or that has coached people and worked with people that I admire, and that's what I want to go out. But personality is a big thing too. You've got to make sure that you like them as a human. That's a big key.
Yeah, but is there really many people, Kristin, that you don't like as a human?
Oh yeah, we won't name them by names on
Fair.
this, but there are tons of them because you've got to align values, you've got to align goals, and I'll still be kind to them. I always say, you've heard me say the name of the last book, you're not for everyone, but you can be for everyone. You can still love on them and appreciate them, but they don't have to be in your circle. So I'm
Fair.
still going to be kind to everybody, but there's certainly people that you come across in business that you're like, that's not really anybody I'd want to be in partnership.
Sure, and as you get more senior, I mean, you're not as old as myself, but as you get
older. I think we had this discussion
yeah,
before. I think I got you beat.
Well,
No.
then I'm not going to discuss age.
We won't discuss
We
it
won't
on
discuss
here, yeah.
age. But as you've gotten more experience and more wise, go back a little bit and think about those scenarios where not only you've run into the obstacle, but it's taken you longer to find that solution. So I know you've always run through solutions, and that's the resilience that you have, and that's what entrepreneurs need, and that's what you're coaching. But talk about an experience maybe where it took you a lot longer to get a resolution.
I feel like it's when we're not open to doing things differently. I really do. So I would say coming up in business and life, I mean, this business, sports, everything, it's really when you fight back on the solution.
Do you run into that a lot?
I don't as much as I used to. I think when I was younger, I needed it to be my way. I was like, but this is the right way. And sometimes it's hard to let go of the fact like, oh, maybe this isn't. So having people that you surround yourself with that will challenge you when you're like, I think you're looking at this the wrong way, or I think you need to be open to other things. That was a big turning point for me. And that came, it came later. I think I was probably in business 20 years maybe
before you were open to that.
I was open to it before, but where now I go to it automatically. So now
Really?
if I get a gut feeling, I do follow my gut a lot. If I get a gut feel where maybe this isn't the best solution, I'll go to somebody in my circle and just say, business circle as well, and just say, what am I missing? And they'll give you that feedback. Because typically we know, but I think when we're younger and less experienced in business, we fight it a little bit. We're like, I want to make it my way. I see that in corporate a lot too.
Very true. Well, so talk about this, because I know a number of people that, as we're talking, I'm like, wait, I have to turn them on to you because they are looking to be coaches. They need to be coached of how to be a coach.
Yes.
What are the important skill sets for those people?
I think that if you want to be a coach, you've got to learn to listen. You asked about listening earlier. You've got to hear the person and meet them where they are. Because as a coach, and part of why I went into the development space and helping people grow is I like to see where they're going. I can see the potential, and sometimes they can't see it, but I still have to meet them where they are. I may see them up here, but I need to meet them here to start with. So meeting people where they are is the biggest thing. And then being open to helping them determine how to do it their way. I'm very big on, I call it your uniqueifier, finding their uniqueifier. What is different about them than their competition? If you can hone in on that and their strengths early on, the sky's the limit.
I mean, look, I'm just taking notes. Uniqueifier, the prescriptive approach, meeting them where they are. I'm a recovery. These are some magic words you have.
Sound bites, right?
This is beautiful sound bites. Yeah. So, when you're dealing with someone who is an expert in their field, right? These experts, everybody's drinking from their old Kool-Aid sometimes.
Yes.
How do you approach someone who's an expert in their field?
I love experts in the field because to me that means that they have worked to hone their craft. They want to be the best. That to me is a great thing. But what the best opportunity in working with them is to know what they're really good at and then how to complement that. Like I know what I'm good at, I know what I'm not good at. And so I seek to surround myself with people that are good at things that complement me. So the experts in the field, they really only butt heads with people when it's another expert in their same area.
It's really smart. I love that. So I want to give a shout out to Clifco as we did.
Yes.
What do you find to be, and I always ask every Clifco guest this, what do we find to be so intriguing about Clifco? Just to give a little shout out to Cliff.
People. I will say far and away the people. It just blows me away. Every time we get together, we have a think tank, we do trips, we do dinners, we do all those things. The quality of the people. And you've heard me say this, I use this phrase a lot in my business, in my life. I say, know your people, find your people, love them hard. That's my motto in business. It's my motto in life. Cliff Co has great people. And the biggest thing I love about them is they are givers. I don't do well with takers. I really don't. So it's a group of givers. That's been my favorite thing.
Wow. Yeah, I'm just taking tons of notes. I'm taking my paper back with me because these are just beautiful sound bites. So talk about the next chapter for you with FA.
Yeah, I'm excited. So my FA Partners came about organically, which I think some of the best businesses do. I've been coaching in the industry for 15 years. My partners have been in the recruiting side of the financial industry I've been coaching 2 of the 3 of us have been in the business 25 years, right? Wow. So we've got collective 60 some odd years of experience. But what we were finding is we complemented each other so well. They would refer me people that needed to scale their practices. I would refer them people that were either looking to make a move or trying to find a new firm. We've worked with you guys a lot with mergers and acquisitions. But it was such an organic move. We're like, goodness, we have so much to offer, and let's put it all in one house. So that's why we launched My FA Partners, is so our advisors and the advisors we haven't worked with yet can come to us and say, I need this, and we're able to help them. And if it's not us, we're able to have our strategic partners where we point them in the right direction.
Goodness, well,
I'm trying to make it easy for them.
Well, and you got to tee it up, right?
Yeah.
You have to make it simple. People think complexity is the solution sometimes, and it's not. I think it's just simplicity.
Absolutely.
So time flies. Of course, when we're doing this. Thank you so much for coming into the studio. How do people you're a pro of this. I'm going to have you look into your camera, right? Yes. You know where your camera is. Yes. And I'm going to ask you to talk to the audience and say how people get in touch with you. And then if you don't mind, I've got to have you throw out your mantra as well at it. Know your people, but I'm going to let you go.
All right, I'll go. Well, again, I'm Kristin Andree, and Lee, thank you so much for having me. But you can find me on social media at Andree Group. It has 2 E's, Andree Group. You can also find us at myfapartners.com. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm a LinkedIn junkie, and I absolutely love to connect and engage with people. So please connect with me, Kristin Andree, on LinkedIn. And above all, the mantra, know your people, find your people, love them hard.
Thank you for doing that. You're
welcome.
A pro. Look at you, looking right into the camera. Spectacular. Thank you for coming out today.
Thank you for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, wow. We could have just ended it there, but thank you so much for joining us today. I hope the show was as insightful for you as it was for myself. We hope to see you again on another episode of The Roadmap.
Thanks for watching The Roadmap with Lee Heisman.